Всем привет. Опять Геншин, получается. Сейчас цель апнуть Нингуан на ранг, возвысить, точнее, ее до следующего уровня. Мне немножко не хватает на это ресурсов. 35 ранг возможно апнуть, ну и дойти третью главу. Хотя третью главу, возможно, я чуть-чуть попозже все-таки закончу. Третий том в первой главе. Хотя нет, сначала ежедневки. Тут награды за вход в игру. Приятные, кстати.
Solidify!
There really were Fatui at the location written down on this piece of paper. And they look really mad at us too.
I will have order.
Use this
Let's end this quickly.
Give up.
Stay right there.
Your life is mine.
Stabilize. Almost. I must collect myself. Let's end this quickly. I slipped up.
Gone.
Solidify. Must counterattack.
Don't waste my time.
Windblade.
I guess this is it. The loneliness of death. Gather.
It's nothing.
Flash frost. Warm.
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper too. Paimon's seen this. Oh, Paimon knows. But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hand? Oh, that's right. Talismans like that, where maybe the Fatui are copying the sigil of permission. Being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that's a... And the... Alright, that's the last stop on our... Let's go! Paimon!
Во время диалога нас немного отстреливали. Тут молодой человек.
This was well done. Stabilize.
Give up.
You need to hurry up. This was well done.
Windblade!
You need to hurry up. Go on! Time to fulfill my duty! It isn't time for a break yet!
Your life is mine.
This should be fun!
This is order.
Stabilize! No slacking off! Not breaking a sweat!
Solidify.
It isn't time for a break yet!
It's nothing. Yeah.
This one's well done! This should be fun!
Fire.
No slacking off! Roast, fry! Not breaking a sweat!
Gather.
It isn't time for a break yet!
Let's light it up.
Finished! Roasted, fried! You need to hurry up!
Don't waste my time.
This one's well done! Roasted, fried! This one's well
Solidify. I will have order.
Windblade.
done! Roasted, fried!
It's nothing.
This one's well done!
Stabilize.
You need to hurry up! Roasted, fried!
Да нет, неубиваемый принял.
This one's well
Впадло
done!
его бить вообще.
Give up. Yeah.
This one's well done!
Gather.
Fried!
Stabilize.
Teamwork is dreamwork. It's nothing. Fire.
Вон он стоит, дед.
Right on time. I myself only arrived Did you enjoy your visit to the...
It was so big and pretty.
Indeed. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very... Yeah, her take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. She thinks that...
Oh. So you also...
She said the time of the Adepti has...
Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, She has only relied on herself to rise to her. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's...
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex...
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't No matter what they may be planning.
So, is Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is.
Glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon...
No. Those Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze before the Archon War. Of course, there are some wild glaze lilies, but I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. No, I need you to sing to them. Singing.
So how good is your singing? Really?
We'll only know once she...
Rise!
Let's light it up!
Gather! Quake! Solidify!
Your life is mine. We can't have treasure unaccounted for.
It's time to sing. Whenever you're ready. Da 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 da.
Ну так нормально поет, пойдет.
What happened? These flowers are jumping.
Ну может не очень.
They look really angry. Is it because you sing a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Liyue? Ha! Yeah! Duh!
Solidify!
Yeah. I'm going in. Let's light it up.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't.
This little monster is known as a The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long.
Well, that's nice and all.
Unfortunately,
That's so.
Excuse me. Are you
Hello.
searching for glaze lily?
Oh, hey, it's what's her face?
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised. Ah, that reminds me.
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to.
Didn't I tell you the way?
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess...
So she's acting different from the first time.
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days...
Oh,
No, it's quite all right. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and... Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remain. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. She is merely 500 years old. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded.
so what do you think of this?
Huh? As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality.
huh? Did you?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Qilin. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found.
We dare.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well.
Wow, so you really know your stuff?
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this, if you would excuse me.
And that just about does. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine it.
I've had enough ventures in my life. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine.
Wow. See? All right, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue. What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and the Vitui?
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, however, both sides were quite obstinate.
It seems inevitable.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo Archon. If the two sides come to...
Surely the Liyue Qixing are...
They're bonehead.
And what now? How is it that...
That's all. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the... Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions...
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an... Neither path is in...
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off...
Things are taking a turn. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. I hope that... Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler.
Having connections with... So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse?
Я не вижу разницы между ответами. Ну, пускай первый.
Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned up, he must be waiting for the moment when no one... Well, where could we find him? Where would he go at a time like this?
Понятно, это, короче, тот раз, когда он нас услышал. И теперь из-за этого проблемы. Да нет, мы хотя бы знаем, где он. Собачки. Прикольно. Милые песики. Не уверен, что такие бывают в Китае или Японии, но они милые. У меня левел отряда выше, чем рекомендуемый. Наверное, мы сможем. Не знаю.
Wow! It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have... This is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go... Oh, so it's a trap! But even if we can't take it, or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora, it's like a dream come true.
Скрудж Макдак, это он.
Oh, right. That it's quiet. Too quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Quick! We have to go make sure that the exude...
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful, don't you think that trying to stop me now, stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia...
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the exude...
As one of the 11 Fatui hearts, she will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your... The time for discussion and diplomacy is already... Either way, we now come to my favorite, the battle.
Battle? So you're the...
You could say... When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to... When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blade.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to...
Но я
Besides,
объективно
you could
сложнее, чем в
never defeat me.
Mondstadtе.
Not even in your wildest.
Да что за локи
Fighting
диалог?
talk, I love it.
Файт, драться. Что,
This chance is hard to come
наконец-то.
by. So show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me. And don't you dare disappoint.
Your life is mine.
Gather! I will have order.
О, где он?
How unbecoming.
Be gone!
Rise!
Cowering
Stabilize.
already?
Какой-то ты простой, реально.
Guess I should take you more seriously. Haha, good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself.
Ah.
This is about to get tough.
Вкусняшка.
Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Нужно зарядить на Беннете.
Off we go.
Something else catch your eye?
Adventures. Let's light it up. Teamwork is dreamwork.
All you do is run.
Хорошо.
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive.
Я же победил.
But that's about as far as you'll get.
Дед. Нингуан.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now.
Что он хочет забрать? Он же мертв.
I see.
А, это
Well,
фейк.
this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Или кто-то другой успел забрать. Ну я не брал вроде. Вроде. Походу Нингуан кликанул реально. Правда нам за это хана, походу. Ебать. Это робот из Евангелиона, надеюсь? Или из Милого Франкса?
This is going to cost you!
Я бы за такого подрался, реально. Ну, типа... С Тарталью. Что ты там в море хотела покупаться? Вот, море. Спайси. Ёкарный бабай. На деда. Щит.
Solidify!
Ну и что-то делать надо.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster?
Ёкарный бабай.
Did you leak the information regarding the golden house?
Фастер, да ты, блин, быстрый черт.
No matter. Hand the Gnosis over now.
Хотя вроде дэмэдж проходит нормально.
Take it?
Gather!
Не, вроде не сложно. Не
Don't
знаю.
waste my time. Submit.
Ой. Но если у него второй фазы не будет, то вроде не жестко. Если будет, то, ну, блин, плачевно.
Rude.
Solidify!
Надо было огоньку дать сначала. О. Кто там второй фазы?
Let's light it up.
По-моему, это она. А может нет? Нет, что-то пока просто.
It's nothing.
Вот так вот просто накидываем и все. А, это все реально?
Some you win, and some you lose.
Look! Child's back to normal.
It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you had no connection to the Gnosis.
That's what we've been trying to...
Your show of
Почему его не убили?
far surpasses
Я
that
бы
of
убил.
Sonora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me,
Путешественность как раз сильнее, чем тебя на сиренном штате. Скажи мне, как это возможно?
you already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eye. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend.
Pretty sure that's not the...
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning.
Да, его не было.
Perhaps it was never in the In fact, it might be that the
Да, именно. Ты только понял?
You mean that...
Yes, it appeared. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce, as such.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be. The truth is, the world belongs to those. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the GR Archon in the Archon War. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago.
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me, using the powers of ancient gods in such a
Почему мы его просто
situation
не
fails
убьем?
to interest me.
Мы его сильнее,
It's
по идее,
largely
сейчас.
against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo Archon to show its hand.
То есть он просто уйдет? Ну там клинок по горло. Нет, никак. Ладно.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Я и так на дне. Как мне отсюда выбраться? А, она
He's
сама.
already gone.
Ладно.
That guy is fast. What's going on?
На самом деле отсюда стоит ретироваться. Ну так, к слову. Нам нужно будет сейчас драться с ним? Серьезно? Как?
If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the... Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of...
What are you doing?
Все.
Hold on. It's the Adept guy. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Адепт. Адепт. Реально адепт. Рогатая. Адепт. Вот это, кстати, тоже адепт, к слову, 100%.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Just seeing this.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god, which is why we must stop that monster before it gets.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago. So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? Wait, all
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chi Sing did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista, and as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would...
I suppose this is one. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. We haven't a moment to spare.
Окей, баллисту модифицируем. Это странно. Ладно. Тупо кинцо смотрим, ну реально.
the Fatui! They're attacking the Guizhong Ballista!
Ну чё, идем драться.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
Я вот этих хочу убить.
All able Millilith,
Помочь
with
хотя бы.
me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
This should be fun.
Stabilize!
It's nothing. Your life is mine.
Not breaking a sweat. No slacking off. My duty at an end.
Ага, тут еще, окей. Окей.
Don't waste my time.
Joy, we've only just begun.
Ну этот легкий.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Ага, ударов. Вкусняшка. То есть меня еще и он шандарахнуть
Their attacks
может.
are unrelenting.
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every
Ебать,
last
Джунглина
one.
отхерачили. Ну ничего, ладно, нормально.
Off we go.
Ну, они реально бьют этот Тауэр.
It isn't time for a break yet.
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so
ХЗ,
many
что-то они какие-то непробиваемые. Реально.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart.
Первый готов.
Take this.
This is adeptal energy!
Ой,
That
ладно.
light from your body. It's like the time in Julian Cars. Wow, it's getting shockwave. This Granny's really strong.
Она нам помогает, получается, или что? А реально, мы их просто, ну, налегке убиваем от помощи.
Your life is mine.
Miscalculated. You're not going anywhere. No excuse for slacking. My duty at an end.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight.
А это хил. Я не понимаю,
My
тяжело.
name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
О, прикольно. Это, походу, надо для уклонения от этих хреней. Типа мне просто выжить надо и все? Или что? Tower Defense окончен.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal
Три
energy
формы
at
адептов.
once.
Вкусняшка.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Look at me. Just
Кто его бьет? Он не то. А, уже другой тавр бьет. Не, мне нравится под баф метода погонять, вообще вкусняшка. Вот это мне не нравится. Ладно. Так. И мид, дефать.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Stabilize. Order guide you.
Все, эти мертвы, готово? Да, эти мертвы. Теперь вот эти.
Let's light it up.
Disgusting. My duty at an end.
Off we go.
Solidify. I will have order.
Windblade.
Yeah! The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Куда? Я мид хочу дефать, потому что тут типа максимально разрушенный. А, или это все? Написано 10 секунд. Походу все, да. Вот этот персонаж, кстати, прикольный, он мне выпал, но что-то я его не прокачал особо. Ну, надо, наверное, посмотреть, во что его в целом собирать и, возможно, прокачать. Не знаю. Правда, вместо чего мне его ставить? Возможно, вместо ГГ. Не знаю. Тупо как кинцо смотришь и все. То есть даже играть не приходится. Все получается, хана баллистом. Да, походу да. А вместе с баллистом и нам. Нет, взял, засейвил. Накачанный молодой парень.
Be careful now.
А, нет, я накачанный.
The Guizhong
И
Ballista is
спутал.
destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Это точно китайская игра? По-моему, японская, вот камикадзе. Всё, хана. И мы выжили, да? Найс. Все повздыхали. Ладно.
Is it?
Это
The
все.
ominous aura of that monster. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the...
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retain. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started. At first, it was only the size of a small room. But with continued expansion, it is a testament to Ningguang's entire life. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such...
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such Thank you all for hearing me out.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test. But that does not mean that the Liyue do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead,
Are you questioning our means?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part...
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though more, I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world. But I dared not speak. I could...
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only...
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very... As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
Прошу прощения за то, что я явился в полном удивлении, боюсь, что я не смогу проявить должное учтивость. Мужик, что ты тут забыл? Тут как бы боги, полубоги.
And who are you?
Кто
I am
такой?
Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid, although I am a mere mortal soldier.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor.
Это мило, ладно.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be...
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Aw.
You see, this is the country of contracts is grateful to the... Although their blood is weak. The time of contracts...
Seeing the port around.
Your line of inquiry is...
Гайз, значит, это тоже максимально
Seems like the
неинтересный
Adepti have
диалог.
had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. One fears that by the time one finally grasps, fair enough.
Да, гайз, вам реально пора уходить, потому что, ну,
Since
вы тут
we
долго
Adepti
и
have, but
уже
how
скучно.
will we ensure?
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we child wanted to unleash the god, but we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the
То есть они думают, что он не умер?
Paimon doesn't get it.
Ну, получается, что он не умер,
The
если они так
strongest
думают.
we-
Они же герои, да? По идее. Так, мне что-то дали или нет? Походу нет. Нет, ничего не дали.
Have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshan.
Голодная церемония.
Funeral parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli.
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make.
Гайз, вы чего, с Джин Ли все в порядке. Вот он стоит, вот Джин Ли. И перед вами. С ним все ок. Что они так распереживались-то? Реально. Ой. Ну, мне Леон нравится в плане архитектуры, такой человый город, реально. Надя. Надя. Больше не на охранницу похоже, а на
You call
повара.
this cooperation between harbingers. Cooperation
No,
involves
имя, в смысле.
communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child.
Сеньора.
Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring cake? Oh, it seems that some of your...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you. You're.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as some...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since...
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have missed... Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together. Nothing personal. We just have different views. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to... You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you...
The contract is fulfilled.
То он украл?
How sanctimonious.
What? So, no, wait! That's an exciting twist and all...
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,000. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers. I stood motionless.
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next... So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. Indeed I was. The Gnosis which I had kept for so... That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the...
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him to... Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue...
In the end, the resolution to all that has Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest... Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This, despite the eavesdropping. This meant I could remain as... All of these things turned out as I had planned. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the...
Huh? That does...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of...
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and...
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand...
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter.
Fine.
Do as you wish.
А мы сеньора не накажем там за то, что она немножко сердце украла у прошлого, ну, этого воздушного черепца.
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a...
Realistically speaking, there is...
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For my agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance, uncover that answer for your...
Ну блин, нет, не хочет говорить парень. Вот, теперь мы без сердца, бессердечные. Это вроде как все, ну, мне кажется, логичное завершение третьего тома, то есть. Ну, я бы на этом завершил. Будь я сценаристом. А, нет, церемония, ладно. Согласен. Хорошо. Но вот после церемонии, ну реально конец. Если, конечно, нет там какой-то прикол не засунут. Цветочки. На next хутау. Чтобы она выпала, а не чтобы прокачать. Сейчас, парни, все будет. Потерпи там, пока не умирай. Вознести тебя там успеем. Так, у меня есть выбор, по идее. К вот этому подойти или к вот этому?
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown.
Yes, and to
say, do you think the person?
Now that you mention, I mean it all. Still, what's so?
Forget it.
А, кстати, они правы, реально, один и тот же человек убил его и пробудил. Ну, то есть, ну реально.
Oh, well, so Rex Lapis is really... Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high.
Вот это реально, ну типа, по факту так и есть.
Fatui?
По факту.
They certainly are very... Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't...
Hear ye all! The Chi-Sing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, gods and adepti live glorious lives. But both light and rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celest. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chi-Sing's announcement said. So that something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for them? Could the Chi-Sing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither
До чего настолько громко?
Adepti knew anything.
Вот эти вот люди, ну anyway, они это слышат.
Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh.
Да, сейчас посмотрим, и конец. Это получается коза вот эта, а это Кицин, да?
Are there speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end.
3,700 years of contracts burnt.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our prosperity.
The long, unending dream of our
Now that we have awoken from our... Will you stand with us as we re-establish...
So concludes the words of her
А,
eminence the
Ганьюй, вот,
Tianquan.
ну коза, реально.
Does her eminence the Yuhan
Без
have
негатива,
anything
без
to add?
негатива, просто рожки красивые.
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking
Is that the traveler who they say defeat?
So young. The Liyue
Такая
Chi-Sing
молоденькая.
always repay their debts. And as you have... Name your price.
Whoa.
Опа-на. А у нас реально выбор будет? Или мы типа промолчим и нам ничего не дадут? Ну типа тут там, утешающий.
Could you help me put up some missing person posters?
А, понятно. Брата ищем. Найс. О.
The cleanup of the...
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move.
Why, you... Were you just trying to look... If you were looking for someone, you could have just...
Ну блин, это человек слишком важный, получается, реально. И вот наш друг. Так, погодите. Вот, нормально.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their and here you are looking.
Why would I not feel more at ease? Right. If the two of you can spare the time.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stick.
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the butt since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to. You had to try becoming a—
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true.
Paimon thinks—
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea.
Закрыли, их же вроде как раз
The nation has been the
появилась.
Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people...
maybe это из-за того, что у меня 35-го нету.
That
Да,
is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of Inazuma, people...
That said, though, Zhongli, since
На самом деле мне это не особо интересно. Да.
Visions?
When faced with circumstance, but if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment, this is what visions are. Magical foci.
That's
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun.
vision hunt.
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions with...
They want to seize visions. But why?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is
Whoa.
the Animo Archon
Нам
is the
типа
god of
глаза
freedom,
вырвут или что?
and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems the fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed knowing her. She must have again quoted 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, all right then, was there anything else you wish to know?
Хочу Чайлда немножко знать.
Before the Chising made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Ну да, всё.
Well then.
А Чайлда реально было бы интересно знать. Все, это конец. Наконец-то! Это было тяжело. Далее, получается, камень истока, опыт и какую-то фляжку. Опа-на. Нормально, 60. Ежедневки. Ничего, ничего. Ничего, ничего. Так. Это задание архонтов, то есть это основной сюжет. Промежуточный том. Не основной. Что мне нужно завершить? Вот это, дворец. Так. Это, наверное, да? Что? Не, я бы чайник вообще получил. Вот. Но думаю, это все-таки попозже. Ежедневки, там чайник. Да, реально чайник мне хотят парить. Да. Ладно. наверное, его стоит получить, но пока что это все. Чуть позже это сделаю.